thought I saw it one way, and then I needed to see other angles. Then I needed to understand why we're taking timeouts, what's going on. Bengals had him on the ropes. Jamar Chase was, by the way, Jamar Chase leading the league in everything. Unbelievable player on a historic pace right now. He was having his way with this Ravens secondary. That was a question mark that Ed Reed wasn't questioning somehow yesterday. So it was 21-7 late into the third quarter. I wasn't feeling too comfortable about it. I tweeted the Burr thing. It was dumb of me because, of course, it ended up not working out that way. They could not deliver the KO. They couldn't, Piston Honda, the King Hippo, they couldn't get it done right at the end. And before I even get into the Lamar part of it, you got to credit non-friend of the show, never comes on the show, Marlon Humphrey, because he was the spark that the team needed. The Ravens had 7 points on 7 drives. He strips the ball away from Chase Brown. And after that moment, they scored 28 points on 26 plays to get this win. Oh, man, this is a heartbreaker for me. Wow. Momentum shift. The defense had its struggles, whatever. Caught some serious heat, though. Unbelievable. And from there, Lamar was like, okay, bet, here we go. I'm going to turn into the MVP 3-time guy that I'm going to probably be at the end of the season. 290 yards, 217 of those in the second half, 4 touchdowns. It was just clutch throw after clutch throw. He was Kevin Durant of football last night, okay? It looked like Coach Lou had the offense out of sync. The Bengals was playing keep away, but something happened after the fumble. Lamar took over, okay? He's now 26 total touchdowns on the year, just 2 interceptions, beautifully done. Who's playing better than him right now? Nobody. I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, though. It's not just this game. It's not just this game to kick off Week 10, but looking at the totality of it, Lamar on track to have the best single-season passer rating in NFL history, better than Aaron Rodgers, and at 15-1 season in Green Bay. It's not just the numbers that have been impressive. It's the way he sort of overcomes the defense. This is why he's the MVP. Because, he has Derrick Henry, but he also has the 27th ranked defense and somehow has this team at 7-3. He goes into last night tied with Josh Allen at plus 300 to win MVP. His odds now plus 170 to Josh's plus 340 to take the thing home for the 3rd time. Of course, a lot of football left here. He's starting to pull away with it, though. 7-3, Ravens would be back in first place in the AFC North. What has to happen? Pittsburgh has to lose to the Commanders in Washington on Sunday. Hamilton, join me, my friend. I know we're going to get you in here in a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a heartbreaker for me. Every time I looked up, I was like, Chase, great, give it to Chase. Thought Chase might get a chance at the end of the game.
Yeah. It was tough. I mean, it seemed like the Bengals had full control there for a while. As you said, it just turned in that third quarter. And even still, there were so many opportunities for them to win that game. The 2-point conversion, you want them to look Chase's way. You saw it. It wasn't there right away, so Joe came off of it. I mean, the penalties, I know we'll get into that with Joe a little bit later, but you got to, we like letting guys play at the end of the game before there are 2 egregious penalties. When it's egregious, you have to call it, and those are both egregious, in my opinion.
Let's talk about the 2-point conversion, okay? There were a lot of chances, like you're saying, to win the game, okay? Joe is a great quarterback, okay? You expect the win. And you love that they go for 2. You love it. Let's do it. But here he is. Let's start with Joe. Here he is on the call, whatever, and the tough loss for Cincy.
I feel like I've never really gotten those calls, so I don't really expect that. I felt like there were a couple that were close, but again, I don't expect those. Yeah, it's tough pill to swallow. But we've had our opportunities. Obviously, it's tough when you feel like you're playing well enough to win and you're not, but there's always more to do.
I feel for him this morning, man. You really can't play much better than he has. These 2 losses to Baltimore, that just has to take the breath out of you. He's thrown for over 400 yards per game, 9 touchdowns, guys, and 2 losses. 9 and 2 losses. He gets a legendary 268-yard, 3-touchdown performance out of Jamar. I mean, he's the best wide receiver in the business right now. The Bengals still could not find a way to win. The defense, Lou had it going early. They were not able to get the stops when it mattered, and I cannot fault the decision-making this time because Zach Taylor has been conservative and, week 5, the overtime loss, there was some conservative stuff here, but he went for 2. He stayed aggressive on this one with the game on the line. So, you got to keep the ball in Nine's hands and do what you did. This is one of those things, Hamilton. If they have T. Higgins, do they get do they get it done? That would be my question.
Yeah, and that's where, because you didn't really feel his absence a lot throughout the night because Burrow was airing it out. Chase was so good. But in that situation, he has to come off the Chase, and Tanner Hudson is the guy getting the target because they just, not having T there, that's where you really felt the effect of it.
That's what I think.
In the biggest moment, I think you're right.
A woof that he wasn't out there. We'll see if he can get back on the field. Do we care if he can get back on the field? We do. We do, because all is not lost yet, Bengals fans. We are here for you. If you look at the standings, Broncos lose at KC. Bengals then would be a game back at Denver for the last wild card spot. We are rooting against the Broncos, I guess, weirdly. They also get a chance to close the gap on the Chargers for one of the other wild card spots on Sunday Night Football next week. Margin for error pretty much gone. But Ham, as you're here, I don't know. This is doable, you say, and I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, if KC takes care of business, you're still a game out. They play both the Chargers and Broncos the rest of the way, so they can make up ground there. And again, it's not just lip service, because the way that Joe is playing right now, you look at the teams that have done it in similar positions, the 2011 Giants, the 2010 Packers, the 2020 Buccaneers, the teams that did it from the wild card spot, it was all transcendent quarterback play. And that's what you're getting from Joe right now. So, and you say, oh, well, can they do it if the defense isn't fixed? The Giants had a bottom 5 defense that year and still went on and did it. So I'm not writing this team off with Joe playing the way he's playing. Absolutely not. Can
the Ravens pose the same threat to the Chiefs that the Bengals posed to the Chiefs in the postseason?
I think so. I think with the way that they found their game right now, again, I've said it before, I think the Chiefs got very fortunate that they played the Ravens in week 1 because they didn't have this thing really working until like week 3, week 4, and then they've built momentum since. This is a very different Ravens team than the one they saw.
I'm talking about the playoffs.
Or the one they saw in the AFC Championship game last year.
Yeah.
Yes, the way that they're built with Derrick Henry, you said
they're
it.
They're going to run the ball more than 6 times, yeah.
Yeah. So I do think, I don't think Kansas City can get cocky just because they've had success in the past. This is a different Ravens team.
Okay, what's going on? You want to talk props?
So, yeah, while that might have been disappointing for you, you did have another big win in the prop shot department.
Fantastic.
I did want to bring this up because you went 3 for 3 again. You've actually gone 15 for 18 on the season, which is insane. Gronk, we also have to shout out Gronk because Gronk had a big night as well. He can't match you. He got 2 out of 3, which is really good. It's just you're hitting every single one. And we also have to shout out.
I love that I love that it's like black and whited out, like it's the Hunger Games, and he's no longer with us. Like what is that drama that he did that Derrick Henry one didn't hit? But
we did have.
What?
I also want to shout out friend of the show here, Robert Patterson, who parlayed all of these picks, we don't have the tweet, but congrats to him on parlaying these and putting a little something
Congrats
together.
to him. I love it. Everybody who tailed us and did their thing. There it is.
We do have it. Here we go.
Hey, Robert. Okay, so he actually put the Derrick Henry anytime touchdown, and he took a couple from Gronk, a couple from me, and won himself like $100 almost on a $10 bet, which is pretty nice. Love that. Love to see that.